Live. Welcome. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Welcome. Welcome to the live. Hope you're doing well today. Welcome. Glad you're here. And we're going to get into it very shortly. Welcome to the live. Welcome. Happy Wednesday, wherever you are on the planet. Sending good energy to you. Welcome. Today we're going to be talking about spiritual awakening, what it is and who it happens to. Welcome. What is a spiritual awakening? Who does it happen to and why? And how do you understand the spiritual awakening that's happening to you? Greetings, Joyful Phoenix. Good morning. Good grand rising. Happy Wednesday, wherever you are. Welcome. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. What is a spiritual awakening? Why does it happen? Who does it happen to? And how you can make what's happened to you as a result of your spiritual awakening. That is the topic of discussion today. The spiritual awakening. So if you're here, it's because you've either gone through a spiritual awakening, you're going through a spiritual awakening, or you know people who've gone through a spiritual awakening. And particularly if you're an empath, you don't want to miss this because we're going to be talking about what it is, what is a spiritual awakening, why it happens, who it happens to, and how you can make sense of why this has happened to you. And I think it's important to just get started. And when people join, they join. So what we're going to be talking about is this notion that awakening isn't a trend. It's not a buzzword or even a mystical fantasy. It is something really real, something that's been documented in ancient texts, something that's in modern psychology, and even in neuroscience. And the thing is, despite what you might have seen online, the awakening process is rarely comfortable. It's not the beautiful, enlightened glow that you've come to believe. The awakening process is disruptive, painful, and deeply transformative. If you want evidence of this, just open any news app and you will see what's out there. That awakening and the news stories out there are very scary. So now we're going to talk about today, what we're going to unpack is what awakening is beyond the cliches, the signs that you are awakening, because once you see them, you can't ignore it, the deeper purpose of awakening, and finally, what happens after awakening. And of course, I'm going to try to keep up with your questions, and we'll make room to hi, bipolar teddy bear, greetings. We'll make room to navigate this. So let's go into some historical definitions of what awakening is. In the Bhagavad Gita, which is the Hindu text, Krishna tells Arjuna, as a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones. Sarah, I'm just giving you the definition. And the metaphor describes awakening as the shedding of your false identity. Thank you for the gifts. And the moment you recognize that you are not your body, you are not your mind, and you're not your past experiences. Hey, how you doing? That's awakening. So I gave you one example from the Hindu perspective. Let me give you a perspective from the Buddhist or Theravadan Buddhist perspective. That awakening, the Buddha describes awakening as the moment when one stops clinging to illusions and sees reality as it is. The moment you stop clinging to illusions and see reality as it is, you are awakening. Now, there's a difference between seeing reality as you think it is and reality as it is. Exactly, Sarah. This is what happens. You feel like you're in another dimension. You feel like you're dying. And Rumi also said that the pain you feel in the awakening journey is a place where the light enters you, right? So now let's go into sort of some psychological analysis of what this is. Carl Jung, the famous Swiss psychotherapist, described awakening as individuation, right? It's a process of integrating the unconscious aspects of yourself into the conscious ones, right? And Sarah, if you have a question, come in and you can ask the question. You can add yourself, and I can invite you, and you can voice track here. But you're right. There's a metaphorical death, right? That happens, and this is what happens when you're integrating the shadow self into your full self. Again, the things that would trigger your awakening include things such as deep meditation, psychedelics, near death experiences, right? Or sometimes just your natural temperament. And this suggests that awakening is not just a psychological experience, but it's also a neurological one, you see? And the question is, who is chosen to awaken? Why do some people awaken whilst others remain asleep? And in fact, when you look around the world today, this is an intuitive judgment. More than 95% of the people you meet are asleep and are comfortable being asleep, or are not even aware they're asleep, because society happens at the family level, at the neighborhood level, at the zip code level, at the city level, at the regional level. Society is designed to keep people in a structured, predictable state, because the world runs on routine and productivity and social norms. And these norms discourage questioning, which is why there's this notion of the crabs in the bucket mentality. Is a nap trauma and awakening? This is exactly it, dear. That's the deep kind of pain that wakes you up as an empath. So to your point, dear, there's some catalysts for awakening, and I'll go through a few of them. The first is the dark night of the soul. Hi, it's me, Lee. The dark night of the soul happens when you go through so much pain, you go through so much loss, so much betrayal, so much narcissistic abuse, that these experiences shake up your constructed identity and force you to begin to confront deeper truths. You see, deeper truths about who you are. And then when you look at it from an epigenetic standpoint, you realize that another factor for awakening is that trauma is passed on in the DNA and biologically, right? Making some people predisposed to deep existential questioning. Because some of the traumas that you're dealing with, hey, Stina, greetings. Some of the traumas that you're dealing with actually come from your ancestors. They're not you, you see. They're not you. And you embody this, you begin to embody this and live this like it's yours. Of course, pain is not the only reason why people awaken. There's also this notion of the seeker's temperament, right? So some people are naturally drawn to question reality. Some might be philosophers, some might be natural mystics, like Bob Marley said, some might be artists. These are often the ones who awaken. And then finally, another precondition for awakening is either a karmic or mystical contract comes to its fulfillment. Many traditions, whether it's Christian or Buddhist or Judeo, believe that certain souls incarnate with a predetermined contract to awaken and help others awakening. This is true. So some of the signs of awakening from a psychological and emotional standpoint include disillusionment with societal values. So if you find yourself being disillusioned by the news and not wanting to watch the news, you are tuning into a higher frequency. Another thing that you begin to experience Dolores Cannon is the GOAT, Stina. She influenced my thinking on quantum healing hypnosis, which is a very powerful technique for past life regression and healing. Another sign that you know that you're going through awakening is that you have increased empathy, even if though you've experienced a lot of difficult circumstances. What one, Trisha Star? I was in your dream this morning. What was I doing in your dream? Tell me more, right? So increased and heightened intuition. And then you start to experience synchronicities and deja vu-like experiences. For some, it might be repeating numbers. Hi, Christina. It might be colors. It might be angel numbers. It might be signs on a post. It might be words. All of these are letting you know the field or the creator is saying to you, I am with you. Fire, what do you say? Physical symptoms that signal awakening include not being able to sleep through the night. Especially if you begin to wake up in the ambrosial hours between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. Dancing, Trisha, make sure I don't disappoint today. You see, when you wake up between the hours of 3 to 5 a.m., that's known as the ambrosial hour, Sarah. Why does it seem like some people can read my mind? Tell me more. Maybe we want to hear from you. Come on in and tell us more. What does that mean? Where have you had these experiences of people being able to read your mind and so forth? How does it happen to you? When does it happen? I want to hear more about that, right? But you have sleep disturbances every morning. Wow. I had this from the youngest age, sharp empathy. This is true. You become sensitive to certain foods, right? There's certain things you can't eat. You know, for example, in my experience, I eat fish, right? I have difficulty eating meat or even chicken. So I mainly optimize for fish. Now, I'm not going to call myself a pescatarian, but that's one example. Another example I'll give you is I used to enjoy going to live concerts. And now when I go to live concerts, I can feel all the energy. So maybe after 2 or 3 songs, I'm like, I'm done. I got to go. Because the energies, I can feel and sense the energies so powerfully, right? But simultaneously, I'm sharp and now know how to talk. However, I'm sensitive, psychic, and read body language. Mapnu, protein removed. That's exactly right. Lion rising, wagwan. This is what happens. That when you start to wake up to your truth, you start to awaken your spiritual gifts. And those gifts can be clairvoyance, clairsentient, and so forth. Trisha, yes, same, you head into fruitarian. That's powerful, right? Very powerful. A fruitarian diet, whether you're doing it for the rest of your life or for a period of time, can be very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. Stina, I used to love concerts too. Now you pray through them. I get it, right? So the real purpose of awakening is to break your illusions. Because remember, under narcissistic abuse, you were programmed to become the demon in your own life. I can also feel people's energy, especially when they are hurt. That's a true empath. You see, because under narcissistic abuse, you became the demon in your own life because you were programmed to become a demon. You're not good enough, you're bad, you talk too much. Hey, Breezy, wagwan, and so on and so forth, right? And so when you start to wake up to yourself, you begin to see that everything you thought was an illusion, that you just had a bunch of spells running in your mind that made you the demon in your own life. Because nobody can destroy your life. They can program you so you destroy your life, but they can't do it for you. So the opposite is also true, that when you cross over to the other side, when you awaken, you can become the angel in your own life, when you transition from living in hell right here to living in heaven right here. You can find your own heaven and create your heaven right here based on what your predominant thoughts and emotions are. This is what reprogramming is about. And that's why you wake up. You see, Brizzy, hello, Kia. The other part of the reason for the purpose of awakening is to evolve your consciousness from a fear-based perspective to something more expansive. Or you could say from fear, I'm afraid things are going to go wrong, to faith. Everything works out in my favor. Everything works out for me. Miracles are normal in my life. You know, the power of the tongue, you start to cast positive spells on yourself. Then there is the activation of purpose. So I couldn't be sitting here with you talking about awakening if it wasn't connected to my purpose. And that explains why I've gone through all the pain and suffering and the divorces and everything I went through in my life and the family abuse and all that. You see what I'm saying? And without that, I couldn't be, even though I have a PhD, I'm a professionally certified coach at the highest level, the gold standard. I couldn't be here with you with full credibility and be myself and be dancing and jumping up and down if I didn't know that this awakening is real. You know, I was a corporate guy with regular hair, and now look at me. I'm speaking for the field because that's ionized purpose. You understand? So what happens to you after awakening? You go through what's called the ego death. Nothing makes sense anymore. You're no longer around the people you used to be around. Everything changes. You're not the same. You see, it's a new reality. But a lot of people get, yes, Jenny, Queen, Empress, what are you saying? What happens is when you're in this new place of being born again, you become like a baby. And the baby gets terrified when it sees all these skyscrapers and all that. It's like, why am I here? I can't be here. I got to go back. That's the trap. You got to keep going forward. You see, dear, what happened to you? You're on a healing journey from narc abuse. But mostly people change. What do you mean? You can dial in if you want, so we can hear your voice. And anybody who wants to speak or ask a question with your voice, just go to the live with guests, and we can hear you speak. You see, but this is why this happens to you. So narcissistic abuse that happened to you was for your benefit. Those demons in your life came to test your gangster, your spiritual gangster nature, because you wouldn't have woken up without it. You see what I mean? You just no way you would have woken up without it. And so be happy that you woke up. And all the pain and suffering was the alchemy needed to bring you to this place of becoming blameless. So when you're blameless and you have love within you, it doesn't matter what's going on in the environment around you. Because you remember that previously the environment affected you. Hey dear, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
I'm well, I'm well. I can't hear you. Can you speak up just a little bit?
I'm fine.
Very good. So tell us, what's happening to you? What's your experience with awakening and narcissistic abuse?
I'm still in the marriage with him, but we're in a post-divorce. But that's one thing that I've noticed. Most of the people I was living with peace, they've now changed. I don't know what is happening with people.
Do you know what has happened, dear? Do you know what has happened, or should I tell you? And please speak up a little bit because your volume is low. It isn't the people who have changed. It is you who has changed. It is you. It is you who has woken up to the true identity of the demons around you. Am I making this up?
No, man. Everybody is just a demon now.
Exactly. So it is you who has woken up, my dear sister. It is you. It is you who has woken up, Treasure Star. It is you who has woken up. It is you who has woken up, Global. You see? So embrace this awakening that you're going through. Is there any other question or any other thoughts you want to add before you go? Oh, Treasure, we're having a difficult time hearing you. That was. But you see, dear, I lost you there. But it is you who has changed. You see, and when you change, you begin to see life as it is, not as you thought it is. And seeing life, if you saw this earlier, you might have lost your mind. If you really came to the understanding and the awakening that your third eye is awakened to the fact that you're surrounded by people who have become demons, you would have gone crazy. The reason you can see now is because you're spiritually mature to be able to see it, right? This is why it's happened to you. You see, your spiritual awakening is taking place. Candy said it. You see, and the moment you're no longer resonant to these narcissists, Christina, is the beginning of your ascension. And the ascension process is so uncomfortable, which is why not many people can complete it. Most people fall off. You see, Treasure Star, fully awake and aware. That's the position. And when you're fully awake and aware, you cannot be destroyed or harmed by the demons, because it takes a lot of power to come to your awakening. Ascension basically means that, Sarah, you're ascending from your previous state of thinking that you are a human being to this state of realizing that you're a spiritual being having a human experience. Nobody told me I would need glasses when getting older. Their shock was I'm old. Exactly. And when you put on the metaphorical magic glasses, as Dick Gregory said, you begin to see things as they are. There's actually a movie. I forget the movie. I think the movie came out in the 80s, where this two men would put on these glasses and they would see the truth of reality. And when they take out the glasses, everything looked normal. When they put it on, they could see the demonic faces. Does anybody know what that movie is? I forget what the title of that movie is. It's simply about awakening. You see? So there's a lot of evidence of they live. Thank you, Global. That's it. They live, Treasure. You said it. They live. So you see, there's evidence. They live, Stina. Woo! Can you talk about dating as an empath? I find it very hard. Oh, Kia, I tell you what. I've been divorced twice, yeah? And the reason why I had a second divorce is because I wasn't completely healed and I attracted a more gangster narcissist. And after that, When I was living alone, I dated for a short while and I realized that I was still attracted to narcissists. The difference is I could spot them earlier. Now, when you wake up as an empath, if you're not married or you're not dating, you begin to realize very quickly that you cannot date regular people. And you cannot find your twin flame. You cannot find your soulmate. They will find you. So the journey now is, if you want to have a situationship, okay, who's judging? Do your thing. But to find somebody equally yoked, that person must necessarily be an empath like you, also on a twin flame journey. And they must have green flags like going to therapy or healing or something like that. You see what I'm saying, Kia? And if you want to dial in, please dial in. We can answer your question real time. But this is what it is. Because if you marry a person who's not also on a spiritual path, you begin to descend. And I've been there. You see? So you realize that the reason why you have difficulty dating regular people is because you are ascended or you are ascending. So when you're with a person who's not ascended, you become a threat to them. And when you're a threat to them, they'll bring you down. Not in all cases, right? Trisha thought, oh yeah, it's like now I love being in my own space and company. I date me. I'm loving me all the time. This is exactly what it is. Take yourself out to dinner. Go to the places you want to go to by yourself. And eventually, the people who are equally yoked to you will come to you like a math equation because everything is math. Kia, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm well. So go ahead. What's on your mind in addition to dating? Let's hear it.
Yeah, just like you were saying, it's very, very hard. And a lot of times I'm finding that the guys that want to attach themselves to me almost don't even want to let me go. Like I can end it a million times and it's almost like a control thing. Like I've literally had someone tell me that they'll always be here, or like basically they're never going to leave me alone, so of course I block them.
Yeah.
But I run into a lot of narcissists.
Yes.
And I'm almost scared that I'm overthinking it, but I'm like, I know a narcissist. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I've been on this journey for 4 years, going on 5 years.
Yes.
And I spend a lot of time alone. So the times I do feel like I want somebody, I find myself just going right back into my little bubble because it's the same red flags that
exactly.
I'm witnessing, and I have kids. So it's my process in dating is, I feel like I'm strict. I feel like I do my work, but they end up being a narc,
Exactly. Do you know why?
Why?
You're just realizing how rare it is to be an empath because majority of the people there have been infected by the virus of demonology. They're all victims. And they're attracted to your energy because they can see your light way before you understand it. The difference is you're now wide awake, so you're no longer falling for those traps. And you are alone, not because there's anything wrong with you or you're supposed to be a monk or a nun. It is that you are still purging. And once you're completely purged and you're in full alignment with self-love, you attract exactly that, the person who will reciprocate and be at the same level that you are. You never have to ask. You never have to wonder. But you cannot get there until you are in union with yourself. That's what yoga is, to come into union with yourself. What do you suggest? Like you said, okay, so yoga, like what else? How would I know when I'm ready? You know when you're ready, when you no longer are looking outside yourself for someone to come and entertain you or love you. They find you when you're no longer looking, when you develop self-contentment. And self-love comes from learning to get involved in activities that feed you. So meditation, yoga, going to the gym, taking art classes, going to the bookstore, traveling, going on hikes, finding group activities in your city that you love. And in doing the things you love, you will meet the love of your life. You will not meet the love of your life waiting for them. You will meet the love of your life as you are living your joyful life. Do you see what I'm saying? I do. Yeah. So once you become in love with your life, where your life is like a vacation that you don't have to escape from, they find you. And guess what? They will be on the same wavelength as you, Kia, and they will love you and embrace everything about you and your children. It will be so confusing. But you cannot give what you don't have. And so when you have full love for yourself, then you can give full love too. There's no codependence, there's no dependency. It is just mutual loving. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But until then, hey, if you get into a situationship, hey, we're adults. What the heck? I mean, it's all gravy. You see what I mean? It's all good. You just do your thing. But know that the one for you, you are not gonna find them. They will find you.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, anytime, Kia. It's good to connect with you today and sending you peace and light wherever you are.
Yes, same to you.
Peace, 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 peace. So this is the game. You see, it's a cold and hostile world, John. Until you wake up to the heaven within, then your world becomes warm and happy, regardless of what's going on out there. You see what I'm saying? Trisha Starr, I love the new version of me, no more them. That's exact. Fall in love with yourself, Christina. Pour into yourself, Global. When you have your priorities, happiness is all. You said it. Because when you take the responsibility for loving yourself, who can mess with you and who can manipulate you, Christina? Christiana? Nobody can mess with you. No, I don't live in Arizona. I live in Seattle. Laurie Literati, I feel like once I became the love of my life, I will meet authentic love. It's a math equation. Everything is energy and vibration. It's a mirror. And you are a mirror. So everyone you meet is mirroring something about you that you are aware of consciously or unconsciously. Right? So if you meet a person who's mean to you, they are showing you that you still need compassion in yourself. If you still attract narcissists, it means that there's more purging to be done and more self-acceptance. It's not punishment. And the more you begin to reflect full love for yourself, thank you, fire. Thank you, fire. I appreciate it. The more you begin to have love for yourself, you will notice it when you have an experience that is not loving. You will not accept it. You see, you will not accept it. You will not accept. And on that note, I gotta play this Kundalini music. This is Mirabai Seba. This is called Ha Mukande. This is about giving praise to the field within you. Ha Mukande. Listen, let it touch your heart. This is spiritual music. This is about praise. Han Mukande. I send you good energy wherever you are. I send you love wherever you are and healing. I send you light wherever you are. You are enough. You are worthy. I am enough. I am worthy. This is what it's about. You see? This is what it's about. Falling in love with yourself so much that there's no space for abuse. It wouldn't be able to be resonant with you anymore because you're in a place of full embodiment of self-love, Christiana. You see what I'm saying? You're in full love, Trey Slay, Jilly Bean. You're in full acceptance that this is me. I accept me the way I am. This is me. And I like me. I like me. Everything about me. I am in love with me. I love me. The laugh of one is power. John Morris, they lie, steal, and destroy and laugh at you. This is exactly right. This is why we also laugh. This is why I laugh. Because laugh is a sign of victory. Have you ever heard of laughing yoga? Thank you for the chain. You see, when you laugh, it disturbs these demons because they see that their illusions don't work. The illusions work because they convince you to be afraid. Once you're afraid, you do the job yourself. So love is about being fearless because you know that no matter what happens, good or bad, is for your ultimate good because there's nothing bad when you awaken. This frequency, Kesha, is called Har Mukande by Mirabai Seba. Mirabai, then Seba, Ceiba. And the song is started Har Mukande, Har, the Mukande, Mukanday. You see, this is what it's about. Hey, Vicky, Grand Rising. This is the whole kit and caboodle. You see? So when you wake up and you're in a place of love, love is not just about going around giving people hugs. Love is your protection because it's a magnetic frequency that repels hate. This is the power of love. You know, there's an organization in California called the Heart Math Institute. They measure the vibrations of the heart, showing how powerful the frequency of the heart is and surrounds you. And if you know how to tap into your heart, it surrounds you and insulates you from negative vibrations, because fear is a vibration. Love is a vibration, the strongest vibration. But a lot of people have been conditioned to think that love is for the weak and the stupid. But love is for the bravest and the most courageous. Because when you are in love, the demons can't get you. That's why they've tricked everybody into hate. You see? Chameleon, what about when you are targeted by a large group of narcissists? Yes, I've been targeted. The narcissists don't work alone. They have flying monkeys. They enroll people. And when you're targeted by a large group of narcissists, is when you know just how powerful you are, because a single narcissist cannot attack you. See, I'm always overthinking about everything that happened when I'm a narcissist. Like, how can I, Mr. Jill? This is because you are still ruminating and still hurt, and you haven't forgiven. The moment you allow yourself to forgive without the need for reconciliation, that power of the abuse begins to diminish. It doesn't go away right away, but it begins to diminish. When you decide not to seek revenge and to let karma do its business, when you begin to wish for the narcissist the same good feelings that you wish for yourself, even though you're very hurt, Mr. Jill, that the narcissist wishes death and destruction for you, but you wish for them good energy, that's how you win. Global, the people will see your true nature eventually as you ignore. They see how gangster you are. Exactly, Global, preach. You see, I know you feel very hurt, Mr. Jill. And if you want to talk, come and let's talk. You see, you're in pain, and your pain is valid. You know, what you went through is valid. It's not your fault, but it's your responsibility to overcome it. Because the narcissistic abuse that happened to you, whether it was 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, was how long it took for you to rise up to your truth. Right hops forever. Yes, we pray for those who hurt us. So beautiful. You see, this is what it's, Mr. Jill, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Well, what happened to you?
Actually, I was involved with her for 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I realized that I couldn't get control of her, even though many times I had told her what she was doing was wrong.
Yeah.
And certain decisions we both took together, which she was always lording over,
Yeah.
failed.
Yeah.
The pain is, when I traveled out and I left her behind, it became worse because I lost my 2 vehicles in her place. And everything we planned doing, in fact, I came back to zero. And then I realized she was involved with another person. And it hurts because I knew I should have said no to these things, but I permitted it because of the love I had for her. And that's what it's really. But we've been broken for over 2.5 years now. But sometimes it keep coming to my mind. And everything she was doing that was trickish or was kind of manipulating started making sense. And every time I keep thinking about it.
Can I tell you what has happened to you, Mr. Jill?
Yeah.
So let me put it to you like this. The fact that you are here on this live just shows how strong you are. Because, let me put it very bluntly, and I could be wrong, you're not supposed to be here.
Apparently.
No, not apparently. You are not supposed to be here. You survived.
Because I normally don't go. Yeah, she took me through things that, in fact, at the time I became so sick, and I'm not recovering, and I'm getting better. But sometimes when I'm alone, I begin to reflect on the things that happen, and they begin to make sense, and all begins to come together.
Because as Stina said it that you have a higher purpose. That's why you're here. Because she came to do the business of destroying you completely and failed. This is what narcissists come to do. So when you see that the person has failed and not being able to get you, how does that make you feel about yourself, Mr. Joe?
I feel good. I feel very better. And the person who got involved with her is now chasing me to tell me what is going on. But I told him I am not interested and I don't want to listen. I'm not healing.
Exactly.
And I'm putting things together.
He's the new supply, and he's going to suffer, and she would destroy him in a way that she couldn't destroy you. And what you need to realize, hi, Galinda, is realizing that you are still here for a reason. Everything you lost to the narcissist will come back to you because you have to learn certain lessons, particularly the lesson of valuing yourself, Mr. Joe. Do you see what I'm saying?
Sure. And even in your previous submission today,
yes.
I have learned something very big, that you always attract them. Until you begin to love yourself first, then you will not stop attracting them.
Beautifully
because
said.
The pain is going to be there, and you continue to unravel the truth, but you're not able to quit it.
That's exactly
so I think I've learned so much from your life. That was why I commented. Normally, I didn't even know the word narcissist when I got involved with her.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm learning so much from you. And I'm going to be following your
we're learning from we're learning from each other, Mr. Joe. I just want to send you good energy wherever you are. Keep ascending, keep healing, and know that the best is in the present moment, not the past. You see? One love, Mr. Joe. One love, yeah?
Thank you. More love for you,
man. Peace. Respect always. You see, this is what we're here for each other. Global, the target of groups will fade and the new target will rise to replace. That's exactly right. Yes, the heart is a wave within a wave, and it's waving on RC. It's all waves and vibrations. You see? So this is what it's about. It's about resisting the urge to be transitioned to the dark side. And resisting the urge to be transitioned to the dark side takes courage. It takes a meek heart. It takes looking like a fool. And learning to love yourself, Trisha, is the hardest thing. Because how do I love myself? Let me tell you how you love yourself. When you meet a man or woman, a person you love, and you start to feel all those good feelings, is it the person who's doing it, or is it you who's doing it? It is you who's doing it. So nobody can activate love within you except for you. I don't know if that made sense. John Morris, my inheritance saved me. Didn't give a penny to anyone, laughing all the way to the bank. You deserve it. And be quiet about your good fortune before this narcissist come back for you. Enjoy it. Do good. Do the work of the kingdom within your heart. That's why you have this abundance. It's to be kind to those who are assigned to you, where you'll be given an instruction to help them. John Morris, this is what it's about, Global. It's all waves. You see? So there's a lot of, this is beautiful. We're all helping each other overcome this darkness around the world today. And the darkness around the world is necessary because without darkness, how can light shine, Stina? So darkness is not bad. We need the darkness so we can see more clearly. And the things you are seeing, the average person cannot see. That's why it may seem like you're losing your mind. My friend, do you take in-person visits? Yes, we can meet in person. I'm in Seattle. You can just send me a message at nana@innermileage.com, or you can book a session on my site. We can talk, and then we'll figure out a place to meet. I'm downtown Seattle. We can get anywhere if you're in the area. Olivia, Canada. I'm from Canada. I'll support my account. I need follow. What do you mean, Olivia? I'm not sure what your request is, right? So, Stina, get in touch if you want. But this is the whole information. So anything today that triggers you to hate. Oh, you're in Shoreline, just up the road, not too far away. This is beautiful. Are you past Northgate or thereabouts? Anything that triggers you to get angry, to get hateful, to seek revenge today, know that it's just a test for you to practice love. Anything that comes to your way or anything you're dealing with that seems difficult is just coming so you can transition to ease. Difficulty is a sign of ease. If you feel confused and lost today, being lost is a sign that you will find yourself. Okay, Stina, just email me and we can get going. We can figure it out. You see, so this is the whole message. This is the whole message. Anyone who wants to talk, maybe we'll take one more call before we call it a day. Anyone who wants to come in, just come in. Or, I can just pick someone randomly because I don't want to just be talking to myself, right? Let's see if we can invite Sean, maybe one or two other people. This is the whole deal. So narcissistic abuse is now at a planetary level. It's at a planetary level, and it's the energy that runs the world. Portals open for me every day. This is exactly it. Let me just put this song up. This is Play God by Yardcore. Play God. It's about realizing that narcissists cannot be God in your life. Yardcore. Wicked and stay bad. Sign them clear through my Ray-Ban. So still I see I'm never straight from. I am meditation, me stay on them stay bad. She said them a pagan. No, me never need no Ray-Ban. I beg your pass with the pagan. The Pope I get spray pan. Woo! Vatican City just get the back. Fucking up policy, cigarette and that. 1962 yard gets here. Independence, we don't get away plan. Political separation. Two cousins get this delegation. No, never get no reparation. This is it, people. You celebrate. Find a reason to celebrate every day. I don't care what you do for a living, where you are. Kia. You just celebrate. You celebrate being alive. I've got a few moves. I have a trouble with a lesson when there's so much opposition and blocking happening. The opposition and blocking is just telling you to get grounded. Thank you. Get grounded. Get grounded. Stop moving. Get grounded. You see, when you're grounded, you can see more, Chameleon. Thank you, Christine. You can see more. So no matter what happens to you today, wherever you are on the planet, find a reason to celebrate your awakening today. Even if you're not completely out of narcissistic abuse, you begin to celebrate. It breaks down the walls. This is the story behind the walls of Jericho. You see, when you start to praise, you are sending a signal that you know that the divine lives in you. This is the whole point. And when you know the divine lives in you, you don't worry about anything outside yourself. Exactly, Julie B. This is find a reason to celebrate every day. Don't wait for your birthday or some special occasion, because being alive is a special occasion. Being awakened is a special privilege. Being an empath is a responsibility to be celebrated with joy. Arise and be joyful, because this is your time. We are in the age of Aquarius, the age of Kali Yuga. Everything that's happening is written, maktub. So this is the message, my dear family, friends, brothers and sisters. This is the message for you today. Find a reason to celebrate, because your awakening was for a purpose. And you are in a minority, a privileged minority. Exactly, John. One love, Gail. You are in a privileged minority. So in addition to everything you do, what I want to remind you of is to find a reason to celebrate, beautiful souls, like Stina said. You see, I'm grateful for all of you and your time and your energy. We're in this together. And I send you peace and happiness wherever you are. May the light within you guide you to overcoming your limiting self-beliefs so you can ascend to your purpose and meet your goals right here. One love, one more respect, Mr. Jill. Global, the universe conspires for your success. You are an alchemist, Global. You really are. I want to thank you all, and we'll see you again on Friday the 31st. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. One love. One love, Samira. One love. One love. Oh.